How's it going, guys? Welcome back to TheBlueShifting and welcome back to Steinsgate, my darling's embrace. I'm going to keep remembering that. I almost did my linear bound phenogram because it's been so long since I've done that one. But we are here once again and we've just started. Thank you guys so much for such an enthusiastic first episode last week. Already got some fantastic comments. A lot of you looking forward to seeing what we get. Based on things that you've said and things I've decided, I think that we're going to play this as so. I'm going to get an organic ending. I have no idea how this game's structured or works. I mean, I'm familiar with Steinsgate, so I'm sure it's going to be something kind of similar to the first game. But I'm going to just go for it as best I can. I'm going to get to an ending. I have no idea how or where or what it'll be, but we'll get to an ending together. And then after that, I think I'm going to pick 2 additional ones that I want to get, specifically of characters that I'm hoping to see. A lot of you had some great suggestions. I'm taking a lot of that into account. So if you have any other suggestions, or if you want to make sure that you get your voice heard, continue to tell me in the comments below about a particular ending you want me to feature specifically on the channel. We can't, okay, I could show them all, but you know, if you've been on the channel a while, you know that I typically want to make sure there's stuff to explore in the game for yourselves. In case there's someone who's watching this who doesn't have the game on their own, it leaves you something to explore for yourself. I don't know, I don't like revealing everything per se, but I will talk about everything. I'll make sure to go through all the endings, and when we do the wrap party, I'll make sure to tell you my impressions about things. So, if you have a particular path you want me to go down, put it in the description. Let's see where we go. I also have updated, so on the Discord channel, if you want to talk about stuff that's about to happen, like discussing like the direction that I'm going, but knowing that you can't tell me directly because of spoilers, you can always go there. It's like it'll be labeled the Steinsgate My Darling's Embrace chat room, and you can go there. It's just the one that's labeled spoilers, and just go there and just talk about stuff. So that will be fantastic. I look forward to hearing your comments and reading all your future predictions in the future when I've already done stuff. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So we've got the introduction basically. We've saying that Okabe has done a time leap. Well, not time leap. It's a D-mail hop from one world line to another, or essentially, and so now we're going to try and learn a bit more about what this world line entails, although we have the sneaking suspicion based on the introduction that this is going to be a fun one, not so much depressing. So let's just get started, shall we? Gotcha. I wish I could explain, but I have no darn clue what kinds of gadgets I made.
それにしても言い出したオカリンが覚えてないってのは不思議な話だやっぱ。
Yeah, that would be Okabe.
岡部さん、もしかして記憶喪失なんですか？
Yeah, complicated.
違うよ、ルカ君。オカリンはね、なんだっけ、イーティング。
The eating? What?
リーディングスタイナーだ。
Reading Steiner. Okay, Eating Steiner. Maybe that could be a fun restaurant to open someday. Eating Steiner.
そのシュタイナーっていうのなのです。
Sure.
まゆしまゆし、今のしたいなーってのもう一度。
Daru, why?
シュタイナー？
もっと上目遣いでお願いするように。
やめんかこの変態。
Yeah, you tell him, Kurisu.
シュタイナー？
まゆりもしなくていいの。
違うにゃん。もっと切なそうに言わなきゃダメだにゃん。
Oh gosh. There's no, please.
お前もか。
ねえねえ、今のってどういう意味なのかな？
Mm-hmm. If Mocha doesn't even know? Fetch. This isn't good. This is the lab crew I assembled, but there's so little synergy I can't get a word in edgewise.
とにかくだるよ。新作ガジェットの説明を頼む。
Hopefully loudness is enough to get us back on track.
そうでした、さあせん。
By the way, so I was commenting before how it sounds weird, how Daru sounds so different. Someone in the comments apparently says that it's the same voice actor, but for some reason they would have went a different direction with the voice acting for this game. So, what a weird decision to make, but whatever. Alright, so my bad often used as part of the phrase lol, my bad, lol, when theoretically, while theoretically an apology, it's more often used to provoke or annoy someone.
それじゃあまずは。
Yes. He got a couple cardboard boxes from the curtained off development room and put them on the table. The dubious, creative objects sat before us. They're so crappy. Charming. I don't know where to start describing them, so I'll describe them in order, in the order Daru did. Future gadget number 9, homing diva. What? Number 10, surprise specs. Okay, wait, we gotta look at the tips for each of these. So homing diva, a vinyl umbrella with a GPS device implanted inside. If the user loses it or has it stolen, it can be easily located. However, because its power switch is tied to the open-close button, the GPS will not turn on unless the umbrella is open. I personally find the name to be a stroke of genius. Of course you do. Surprise specs. Future gadget number 10, a pair of glasses that converts what they see into data and is reproduced as a 3D projection. It's capable of replaying events as though they are actually happening in real time. Needless to say, it's a game-changing future gadget capable of turning reality into VR. Miuri is said to have come up with its name. Is it though? Doesn't that just mean it's recording stuff? How would that work? Number 11, one scoot prevails. What? What are these names? Future gadget number 11, a skateboard able to reach surprising speeds by utilizing jet propulsion technology. The back of the skateboard is equipped with a plastic bottle filled with Diet Cola. Oh. By inserting a menthol-heavy piece of candy into the bottle, a chemical reaction occurs, creating a type of jet propulsion. Its name was derived from a line frequently used in the popular show and manga, the Detective Doyle. Okay, so I remember watching like Coke and Mentos reactions, but the thing is, this came out in 2011. Were they really popular right then or not? I can't remember. Maybe this was like, it was a thing in Japan first or something. That wouldn't surprise me at all. Yeah, I desperately searched for the words once Daru finishes, a frown plastered all over my face.
どうしたの、オカリ？頭でも痛い？
Kinda.
そうではない。なんなのだ、この妙竹林なガジェットの数々は。
You're one to talk, man.
妙竹林？
そうだ。どれもこれも全く使い道がなさそうではないか。言っとくけど、これに関しては全部オカリンの発案だぜ。なんと素晴らしい発明品の数々だ。さすが法王院京馬。自分の才能が恐ろしい。
He's biased against himself. Did you just own yourself, Otsu?
え?
Oh yeah, that's right. They still don't know she's a real knitter. I've noticed it before, but this girl sometimes speaks in @channel slang. She may act all business, but I suspect she may be secretly an @channeler. Oh, no way. Japan's most popular message board covered a wide variety of topics from hacking to cooking to anime and current events.
ねえ、岡部倫太郎、これって触ってもいいの？
Oh gosh, what is that? The part-time warrior is pointing at one of the new gadgets.
そうだな。お前たちもラボメンなのだし、構わんだろう。
Oh, careful, man.
やった！ねえみんな、遊んでもいいって！
Oh no! As soon as the words left Suzuha's lips, everyone took the gadgets in their hands and started examining them from every angle. Now that I think about it, this is the first time I've ever seen them so interested in our gadgets. It was only me and Daru until a week ago. But now I kind of regret it wasn't me who built these gadgets. Well, technically it was.
ねえねえ、ルカ君。この傘があればどこかに忘れてきても大丈夫ってことかな。
Well, as long as it's not, closed.
でもこれってビニール傘だから作るコスト考えたら買った方が早いかも。
True.
ここで開いてもいいか
な。
危ないからいきなりガバッと広げないで。
Stop giving one-liners to Daru!
ガバッと広げないでとか、そっちの趣味はないはずなのに、そんなことを言われたら悔しい。でも興奮しちゃう。ビクンビクン。
だから変態発言は自重しろと言っとるだろうが。
I know, right? Jeez. Anyhow.
あれ、このメガネ
なんかかけてもかけなくてもあんまり変わんないんだけど。
ほんとかにゃ。フェイリスも試してみるにゃ。
ちょメガネっ子フェイリスタンとかレアすぐる。
Yeah, yeah. Daru, this is just such a great thing. What does set Daru off? Well, it's party, so I might as well let him have his fun.
ちょっと桐生さん、何してるの？
Uh-oh, what's she doing? Is she getting on the skateboard?
何ってこれを動かそうかと思って。
Okay, shining finger stood before the panicking Kurisu holding the skateboard. But from what Daru explained, that skateboard is...
苦しいな。今すぐその女を止めろ。そんなものを部屋で試されては。
Yeah, that's gonna be bad.
ダメよ桐生さん、それ以上やったら部屋の中が甲羅まみれに。
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's nothing you can do. We were too late.
どうしたにゃ。これは一体何事にゃ。
It's called a little geyser. Jeez. Soda sprayed everywhere as the skateboard smashed into the wall repeatedly. The laboratory had become a sticky carbonated hell. Oh man.
貴様しやつし、なんてことをしてくれたんだ。
ごめんなさい。
Oh, don't yell at her.
ちゃんと掃除するから。
No, we all will.
当たり前だ。
すごく冷たいです。
Oh.
わあ、炭酸ってすごいんだね。マユシーはびっくりなのです。
Yeah, yeah.
もうびしょびしょに濡れちゃったよ。
Alright. Anyhow.
あ、アマネシ、今の濡れちゃったってのもう一回やろう。
Alright, Daru, you gotta stop, man. Every time with you. Daru, you might want to learn how to self-censor.
にゃにゃ、もうこんな時間にゃ。
Fair stood up in the middle of the festivities.
それじゃあフェイリスはそろそろ店に戻るにゃ。
Oh, fetch, really? Why not going home?
フェイリスタン行ってしまうん。
Daru couldn't hide his disappointment. But it really wasn't all too late.
フェイリスはお店に戻ってやらなきゃいけないことが残ってるにゃ。フェリスちゃんは大変なのです。
Hmm. Only Mariri calls her Ferris. Ferris instead of Ferris. Faris. It's a subtle nickname, but it's an affectionate one. As I mentioned before, Mayuri works with Ferris as Miyushi Nyan or May Queen Nyan. What is this? Shining finger. Finally, I'm done cleaning. Everything should be spotless, Mo. Aw, thank you. For someone who can be a little soft between the ears, I'm impressed that Mayuri's doing well at work.
マユシーもいつまでも遊んでたらダメにゃ。宿題いっぱいあるって言ってたにゃ。
Oh.
宿題は明日からやるよ。ね、ルカくん。
Can you?
あ、ごめん。僕はもう終わらせちゃった。
Oh.
ルカくんは優等生なのです。
Don't look like you're gonna cry. Just do your homework.
しっかり学習するがいい。それが学生の本分だからな。
Oh, yeah, yeah. Because you focus on your schoolwork.
今日のお前が言うなすれはここですか？
Yeah, yeah.
学校で教えるような学問など俺には不要なのだ。なぜなら俺は不老院教魔だからな。
理由になってねえよ。
Yeah. The girl before me probably had no need of the typical education system either. That's why she blew past it and like graduated from college when she was like 17. I see. I keep forgetting that you're a student, Okabe-kun. Maybe it's just the way you talk, but I always end up thinking you're older than that. Older than me? Yeah. Sorry, I have to look around my microphone a little bit there.
それじゃあみんなまたにゃ。
Bye, Ferris. We saw Ferris off as she walked out the door. Then Kuryu stood up.
さてと、それじゃあ私もこの辺で。
Aww.
クリスちゃんも帰っちゃうの？
私はまだ完成させなきゃいけないガジェットが2つほどあるから。
Whoa, you doing gadgets too?
何？まだこれ以上に新しいガジェットを作っているのか？
Yeah, what are her gadgets gonna be?
だから全部あんたがやれって言ったんだろうが。
Okay, well sweet, what are they?
だから俺は知らんと何度言えばわかるのだ。
状況が変わろうとあんたはあんたなんだからグダグダ言うな。
Okay, calm down. Dang, she's got a point.
とにかく資金難をなんとかしなきゃならんのならつべこべ言うな。
Uh-oh. Are we in the universe of the debt? Oh, no! Wait, no, what's Pockety? Where's Pockety?
資金難？
Oh, fetch. I was going to ask her what she meant, but she disappeared behind the curtain to the development room. Bankruptcy. I'm sure that's what she said.
おいダル、今のはどういうことだ？どういうことも何もそのままの意味だお。
Dara explained that our recent gadget obsession was brought about by our bankruptcy. The future gadget laboratory was never exactly flush with cash, but something really serious must have happened.
一体その原因は？
I wanted to know the reason for our bankruptcy, but... wait a minute.
オカリン。
Is this perhaps like the follow through? Because remember the very last episode of Linear Bound Phenogram, like where he was like going in circles trying to like rescue Pockety and figure out what was going on, those three very parallel world lines? Is this a resulting parallel world line from the final like activation that he did? That maybe we're still stuck in that world line where we have the massive amount of debt, but this time Pockety is safe, and so now we just have to figure our own way out of the debt? Maybe. That would be kind of cool. That would be one reason why I would have, if that's the case, it would be kind of one thing that would have made that story cooler if I'd already done my Darling's Embrace beforehand. Dara and Mary didn't waste a word. Their faces told me everything I needed to know. It was my fault.
それで一体その他のガジェットとは何なのだ？それは
Yes.
やっぱ言わね。何？どうせ知らないんならできてからのお楽しみってことにすりゃいいんじゃね？その方が面白いし。
Right, sure.
なんなら自分で考えてみれば？自分が作ろうと思ったものなんだし、簡単だろ上皇。
Of course. God, I know I can't remember anything. And their teasing makes me curious, my curiosity even worse.
ではダルよ。こうしようではないか。二つのうちどちらか片方だけでも教えるというのはどうだ？残念だけど僕も片方についてはどんなものか全く知らないんだお。誰もか。それだけはオカリンじゃなくてマキセ氏の発案だから。クリスティーナの？そういうことだから自分で考えてみ。
So these are probably gonna work. Christina's ideas, huh? Could it have something to do with neuroscience? That's her specialty, after all. If that's the case, then it must be... Nope, no idea. Well, if I don't even know what I told my crew to make, there's no way I'll be able to figure out what my assistant is making.
何？もしかして分かったとか？
No.
なかなか面白くなってきたではないか。
Right now, don't care what these next two gadgets are. I'm not even gonna ask why they're all in dire financial straits. We've got 5 new gadgets on hand. I'm sure they'll help us get the money we need soon enough.
お前たち、未来ガジェットの未来は明るいぞ。
Sure.
なんだ諦めたんか。
Yeah.
諦めたんだね。
Yeah, you guys know.
細かいことは気にするな。それよりも宴だ。今から宴会を始めるぞ。
The party's over, dude.
今からってもう終わろうかってとこじゃん。
オカリン大丈夫？
Yeah, I don't know what's up with them.
ほら、ルカ子もシアツ氏も乾杯だ。
岡部さん。
What was that forced fake laugh at the end? Holy crap.
ちょっと岡部うるさい。
Oh, nice to know the essentials haven't changed.
おい、聞こえるか？大変なことが起きた。
Yeah, what's the problem?
実はな。いや、そうではない。そんなことよりももっと大変なことだ。
Okay, what is it?
心して聞け。ラボが乗っ取られてしまったのだ。
What?
だから言ったではないか。大変なことが起きたのだと。何？いや、そうは言うが、敵はなかなかの手だれ。突入してはこの俺といえども無事でいられる可能性は極めて低い。言ってくれる。そうまで言われてはやらないわけにはいかないだろう。
Okay, is he just upset the creator? She's like calling the shots now in the lab, and he's like, Surfer!
ああ、早速突入を試みる。もしも無事だったなら、いつもの店で一杯おごりだ。臭い。コングレ。
I put away my cell phone and step into the enemy territory. It's gonna be pretty soon, isn't it? Lukako, oh, sorry, wrong one. Lukako. The banquet was so much fun. I've never partied with so many people before. I hope you invite me next time. Oh, my mom was really happy that everyone liked her fried chicken. So the banquet wasn't a banquet, it was a roundtable conference. Don't get it wrong. Do you hang out with school friends? Either way, it'd be more productive for you to practice with Samadari if you have that sort of free time to kill, or the fried chicken. Fortunately, I never got the chance to try any. It was all gone by the time I went to grab some. Yeah, I'll set that one. Oh. Resident's reaction return. I have no idea. That's just an achievement. I'm guessing it's just responding to a text message. Because it seems like a lot of the text messages are really easy. Alright, into the lion's den.
おい、クリスティーナよ。後でと言って、一体いつになったら D メールを。
うるさい。
What? She can't stand up to you?
私は今新しいガジェット作りに忙しいんだとさっきも言っただろうが。それが完成するまでは D メールは使用禁止。だからそれまで邪魔するな。わかったな？
Yes, ma'am. She didn't have to be quite so vicious about it. Besides, this is my lab in the first place.
オカリンを一括のもとに追い出すとか、マキセ三角形。
Shush you. I look up at the voice and saw Taro looking at me with a grin on his face.
追い出されたのではない。戦略的撤退をしたまでだ。
Sure.
というかダル、お前いつの間にいたのだ？今北産業。
Give me the TLDR version. That must be lingo that's older than I thought it was. Ad channel slang used when posters want to show up. Posters show up late to a popular thread without knowing what's actually going on, or maybe it's like a retranslation of an older one. It appears he arrived when I was sneaking behind enemy lines. And as for Christina, well, I kind of understand how she's feeling. As a researcher, being interrupted in the middle of your work is a real pain. Guess I'm out of luck. Experimenting on D-mails is certainly a pressing matter, but it's not worth risking my life over.
でどうするん？
I don't know.
実験もできないとあれば、ここにいても仕方がないな。お前はどうするつもりだ、ダル？またメイクインにでも行くのか？
Of course he is.
もちろんと言いたいところだけど、今行ってきたばっかなんだよな。なるほどな。大方メイクインで涼んでからエロゲでもやろうと来たら、開発室は使えなかったと、そんなところか。
No, he's gonna be
残
helping
念
her.
外れ。今日はエロゲじゃなくて MMORPG だお。今日から配信の新クエがあってさ。
Ooh, I wonder which one he's playing. Massive multiplayer online role-playing game, an online game in which huge numbers of players are able to coexist simultaneously in the same world. Great games in concept, but hard to deliver on. I personally, I kind of wanted to do WoW when they redid a classic, but there's like, but I ran into a problem I ran into many times. I've put a ton of hours into Star Wars: Knights of the Republic, and I just decided to give Final Fantasy XIV a shot, primarily because while they're fun, I'm weird. I'm not a big fan of like trying to like group up or guild up with people I've never met, talked to before. I tend to just want to play with friends, but most of my friends aren't interested in MMOs, so it just doesn't really happen. But I'm gonna give 14 a try, just see how I feel about it. I've kind of tried it before, but I'm gonna give it another shakedown, and just see what it is. Especially because it's gonna be something I can do as the months get colder and colder. I think I'll have more time to try it out. So yeah, I'll probably be dancing around in there. If any of you are on there, like, I guess you could let me know. Probably Discord would be the safest place to do that. Like, I don't know if you want to post the credentials like on like YouTube comments or anything, but like, I don't know. Like, I have no idea to be able to meet up with people. I'm currently planning on doing stuff with a friend of mine who kind of got me into trying the idea to begin with. So I think we're on Primal, like starts with an E, the world E, and then Primal. I don't know. I can't remember. I could probably post it somewhere. If you ask me like what server I'm playing on, let me know. But again, do I even have time to play on that thing? Probably not. But I'm giving it a try. Dang it.
これまでとは比べ物にならないくらい強いドラゴンとか出るらしいのだぜ。
Okay. Dio continued to wax poetic about the dragon, but I didn't pay much attention. Maybe this one is like World of Warcraft that he's talking about, because that might be the big Cataclysm update, if I remember that one coming out. Because the thing, I had friends that were playing it, but I couldn't play it because when I was growing up and when WoW was popular, I wasn't allowed to play computer games because my parents were very strict about that. So my friends all got to play it, but I didn't. Whether he plays an eroge or an MMORPG makes no difference to me.
そういえばオカリン、ついさっき秋葉がちょっとした騒ぎだったんだけど知ってる？
Ooh, what's happening in Akiba?
いや知らんな。一体何を騒いでいたというのだ？
今流行りのファンタズムってバンドあるっしょ？ってオカリンは知らないか？
Phantasm?
バカにするな。それくらい知っている。
そうなん？意外。
Phantasm. Apparently they're a pretty big deal. They made a splash last year in the indie music scene and made their official debut this year. Shortly thereafter, they provided the theme to an anime railnet, Kakaru. Oh yeah, I mean, come on, everyone loves railnet in this universe. Popular manga sterilized into Loco Comics. The third season of the anime adaptation is currently airing on Toe TV. Although the series is ostensibly aimed at children, the realistic themes depicted also appeal to adults. More and more children are learning about the internet through this anime. It has reached the point where some scholars claim that children are better informed than their parents with regards to internet issues. Some people are even calling this new generation RailNet children. Fetch! Some politicians and organizations have strongly criticized the series for encouraging children to become hikikomori by idealizing boys and girls who are obsessed with computers. And hikikomori, if you aren't familiar, are people who are effectively shut in. The real hikikomori, I believe, based on its from the translation, if I remember correctly, is more about like it's kind of like shut in, but it more applies not to people who like video games. It's the people who like video games and like who shun society. So they're the people who rarely leave home, probably live off stipends and care from their parents, who don't have a job, who don't contribute to society, who don't even go out in public very often. Like, it's kind of, it's less of a like social like choice, like being a geek or a nerd, and more about like being so removed from society that you almost aren't even a part of it anymore. And it is an issue. It's an interesting issue. We actually played a great game that talks about a kind of a sci-fi fantasy version, not even fantasy, mostly sci-fi, of hikikomori called Chunibyo. Not Chunibyo, what am I talking about? It was it was, oh, was it Chunibyo? Yeah, I think it was Chunibyo. It's a great series that I've got. There's two parts to it. Like, there's the first main game, and then there's like a second kind of like sub part that came out too. Highly recommend you check that one out. I'll probably link it at the end of this video. But we really get to dive into the topic a lot, and I actually get the chance to interact with somebody who lives, I'm assuming still lives a lifestyle that's hikikomori-like. and shared their perspective on it, and really opened my eyes to like what it's like and why like people might choose to live that way, and how it's something that we really shouldn't just dismiss as being like weird or disassociative, that there's often a lot of other things going on in there. Like many other things in life, it's a lot more complicated than it seems, even if you watch and learn stuff about it on TV or something. Anyway, so however, a majority of adults praise the series for teaching children about the possibilities of the internet morality, copyright infringement, and privacy protection. This has contributed to RailNet's success. Although the series stimulates intellectual curiosity, it's not merely an educational program. As Kakadu battles terrorists in cyberspace, his techniques and programs are represented as virtual robots, while his enemies' viruses take the form of monsters. This makes the confrontations easy to visualize, with well-timed perspective changes depicting both the protagonist's techniques inside the computer and his friend's teamwork outside the computer. There's an anime that kind of does this, Summer Wars, or is it Summerland? Yeah, I think it's Summer Wars. Just a cute little movie that I really like. It's actually one of the first anime I ever sat down and watched, and it's one of the first ones I ever purchased and showed to my family. Ferris mentioned something like that a few days ago. Wonder if Ferris is part of that band. That'd be interesting.
それでそのファンタズムがどうしたというのだ
秋葉を電波ジャックしたんだお
They signal jacked Akiba's airwaves. Okay, I'm guessing it's not a literal jacking. Originally, the term was used to describe when someone unofficially hijacks a signal from a TV station to broadcast video to an unspecified large amount of people. However, in recent times, it also refers to when multiple TVs in a public space play the same video for promotional purposes, as well as when a TV personality is broadcast on the same program from morning to night. Jeez, that sounds like... That'd be hard to do live.
電波ジャックだと
そうなんよ新曲のキャンペーンかなんからしいんだけどさ PC 用のモニタから UPX の街頭モニタまで秋葉にあるモニタというモニタに PV が流れてそりゃもう大騒ぎ
Yeah, I bet. Jeez, that'd be insane. UPX, major office building in Akihabara.
電波ジャックか
それにしてもファンタズムも有名になったもんだよな1年前まではほとんど名前すら知られてなかったのにさ
Yeah, well, that's how popularity works.
てか今さらファンタズムとかどうよって感じ僕なんか2年前に聞き飽きてたレベルだわ
Despite how annoying Dara's ramblings was, most of his words didn't make their way to my brain. Because something else was occupying my thoughts.
なおかりん聞いてるん
誰よそれだ
は
What is this master plan now? I looked Daru dead in the eyes, straight into his slightly dilated pupils.
それって何のことなん
だからその電波ジャックだ俺たちの手でできはしないだろうか
He's giving me a look that says, what the heck is this guy on about? Still, I keep talking.
いいかダル俺たちのやろうとしていることは何だ
ヘンテコガジェットを作って遊ぶ
Yeah, pretty much.
違う俺たちがこの未来ガジェットでやろうとしているのは世の中を陰で操る支配構造を破壊し世界に混沌をもたらすこと
He says this a lot, but this is true. He's never actually done anything to further that goal directly. I wonder if this is the first time we'll actually see him try.
ガジェットの作成はそのための礎でしかないのだ
ああそういやそうだったっけでそれが何か
でいわからんやつめつまりあれだあるだろよくほらテレビとかで
I wanna do the thing!
ああなる例のあれですねジークシオン的な
Sieg Sion. What is that? Famous scene that was popular in the 1970s anime, Mobile Jacket Gundam. So Gundam. It is a sequence in the next leader of the Principality of Skion, Karma Sabi, ends his grand speech with these words. The phrase is commonly parodied across many different works. Sieg Sion.
まあそういうことだ
Once the system has been destroyed, we need to let the world know, but we won't be able to do so if we haven't prepared for it.
なるほどねオカリンの言いたいことはなんとなく分かったお
できるのか
まあできんじゃね
Of course!
何
It's Daru! His response was so casual that I couldn't help but blurt out my disbelief. To be frank, I was hoping things would unfold in a more dramatic, thoughtful, one last ride sort of fashion. But hey, if the man knows he can do it all, the better.
ただそのためには機材がな。
Right, which we don't have money for.
言っておくが、今ラボに余分な金はないぞ。
そんなことは分かってるお。でもそうなると、そうだな。せいぜいアナログ放送の電波をジャックするくらいしか無理じゃね？
Only the analog? Daru explained that hijacking the digital networks would be extremely difficult for us as we are now. That's not to say that hijacking the analog networks would be much easier.
アナログ回線をジャックするためにはある程度電波の出力が大きくないとできないんだお。
Yeah.
要するに今このラボにあるものだけを使うとなると、そうだな。せいぜい秋葉原中に任意の映像を流すくらいのことしかできないかと思われ。
Analog networks in this day and age, and only in Akihabara. That sounds so pathetic.
まあそういうわけだし、無理してやる意味も。
いや、それでいい。
いいって、もしかして作れってこと？
もしかしなくてもそういうことだ。
Well, what are you gonna say? It's easy to give up when something seems pointless. But a small step forward is still a step.
本当に作るん？
当然だ。一見意味のないこと、無駄と思えることこそ、より大きなことを成し遂げるための礎石足り得るのだ。
Okay.
言っとくけど、これ規模は小さいって言っても犯罪だお。それでもいいん？
Yeah, it's very true.
何？そうなのか？
What, you think people are just gonna let you do that?
何？もしかして知らずに言ってたん？
そんなことはあるものか。
Right, sure you did. I didn't. A crime. I may want to destroy the system governing our world, but that doesn't mean I want to be a criminal. Oh, you sweet, sweet, innocent child. I want to plunge our society into chaos, sure, but I want to do it legally. That might be the most absurd thing I think I've ever heard him say.
じゃあ、やっぱやめとくってことで OK？
Aww.
まあ結局こうなるとは思ってたんだけどさ。
なんだと。
Oh, now you've challenged him.
だってなんだかんだ言ってオカリンってチキンだしさ。やばいことには手を出さないっしょ。
Oh, snap. What did he just say? Did he just call me a chicken? Did he just call me a chicken? Daru doesn't yet know it, but I'm going to make him eat those words.
つうわけだから僕はどっかに涼みにでも。
待て。
I called out to him as he was leaving. My tone firm yet effortlessly cool. No force, no matter how mighty, could ever think of stopping me.
Go. だ。
は？
He stands frozen in place, stupefied. I say it again, slowly.
聞こえなかったのか。Go だ。
ゴーってもしかして作れってこと？
Apparently.
もしかしなくてもそういうことだ。
For your information, I'm not getting worked up because he called me a chicken. I, Hyonin Kyoma, refuse to yield to such minor insults. For that is the choice of steinsgate.
マジかよ。
一度作るといったものは作る。たとえそれが神の命に背くことになったとしてもだ。
Besides, if it looks like we'll get in real trouble, we can always back out at the last second.
てかさ、そもそも作ったとして何を流すん？どうせオカリンのことだし、そこまでは考えてないんしょ？
そんなものはその時になって考えればいい。とにかく今は物を作るのが最優先だ。いいな。My favorite light arm よ。
はいはい、わかったお。その代わりラボにあるもの適当に使うから。
Right.
ああ、問題ない。やってくれ。
Now there are plans in place to make gadget numbers 114. 14, not 114. Look at go. Really? Well, actually, my mom taught me her recipe yesterday. If you want, I can make some for you. Sounds good to me. Do me a favor and teach Mayuri that recipe. Ouch! Ow! Come on! Lukako wants to cook it for you, Okabe! Gosh darn it, you suck. Just way to not read a room, man. I guess we'll need to hold another meeting soon. Anyway, my work for the day is done. I'll leave the lab to my assistant Ndaro to head out to Akihabara.
んじゃ、マキセ氏の作業が一段落する頃を見計らって、さっさと終わらせるかな。
Sweet.
ではあとは頼んだぞダル。俺は少し出かけてくる。
あ、オカリン。
なんだ？
そんな装備で大丈夫か？
You sure that's enough armor? In a certain well-known games trailer, a character asks the protagonist this very question. He answers with, "No problem, everything's fine." After losing to said fallen angels, he's forced to live through the experience again. This time, he answers with, "I'll take the best you have." This back and forth off on the internet eventually Eventually going on to even win the Buzzword of the Year award. No problem, everything is fine. It's still constantly used to this day.
大丈夫だ。問題ない。
I turned my back to the smirking Daru and stepped out into the scorching sun. Twee!
あ、岡部倫太郎。
Ah, hi Suzuha, how are you? No sooner had I left the lab than someone called me by my full name.
だから、俺の名は法王院京馬だと何度言ったらわかるのだ。バイト戦士よ。
ああ、そうだっけ？じゃあ、法王院。やっぱり覚えらんないから、岡部倫太郎でいいや。
Right.
そうか、ならばそれで。この場合、いいかどうかは呼ばれる側の俺が決めることのはずだ。
そんなこと言ったって、私にとっては昔から岡部倫太郎なんだから、今さらそんな変な名前で呼べって言われても無理だよ。
昔から？
What the heck is she talking about? We've only known each other for like a week. Though perhaps through the lens of youth, a week might seem like a lifetime.
ああ。
I like how the only reason he doesn't clue into it sooner that she's a time traveler is because he's just so quick to dismiss things. Seemingly noticing how strange she sounded, Suzuha waves her hand as if to say, "Forget about it."
今のはほら、なんていうの？言葉のあやってやつ。
Right.
っていうか、岡部倫太郎こそ私のことバイト戦士って呼ばないでよ。私には天音鈴葉って親がつけてくれた立派な名前があるんだからさ。
They did indeed. Now she's pouting. But it will do no good. It's already imprinted in my head that this girl is a part-time warrior. Nothing can change that now. As my gaze lowers, I see a small shadow close in behind the part-time warrior as if trying to hide. Hey, Nai. That shadow turned out to be a small girl still in elementary school. She wore her short hair and pigtails on either side of her head. Here comes the sad response from Mayuri. Nishi might not make it to the lab today. I got a whole bunch of homework to do. Save me. Homework. You fool! If you had planned ahead, your summer homework wouldn't have been a problem. You're like a disciplinist come around to bite you in the butt or save me. Save me, you say? Use this opportunity to learn from your mistakes. This is the first step toward fulfilling your great ambition. Yeah, that's definitely the better one. Sorry, Mayuri. The moment our eyes meet, the little girl hides herself behind the part-time warrior.
ほら、なえ、ちゃんと挨拶しなきゃダメだぞ。
Gosh darn it.
無理もない。シッサー・ブラウンはこの俺の持つ常人ならざるオーラに恐れを抱いているのだ。
Sure. Just darn it.
ほら、岡部倫太郎。そんなこと言うから余計にナイが怖がっちゃうじゃん。
Suzuha gently spoke to the little girl as she tried to hide. This little girl, Nai, is the daughter of the owner of this Ohiyama building, so I call her Sister Braun. I've heard that she's in the 6th grade, but she looks much younger. I believe that's partially why her father, Mr. Braun, adores her so much. His love borders on madness at the best of times.
大丈夫だよ、なえ。岡部倫太郎はちょっと変わってるけど、 別に取って食われたりはしないからさ。
She describes me as if I'm some sort of exotic creature.
ほらね、ご挨拶は？
おかりんおじさん、こんにちは。
Aww.
俺はおじさんではない。
Come on, Okabe. Come on.
またそうやって。
はっ、この前教えてやったにもかかわらずまた言うからだ。
Well, everyone doesn't do that.
この前？
Shizuo looks up at the sky as if she's trying to recall a distant memory. Below her, Sister Braun is shaking her head in confusion. I see. I thought we talked about this a few days ago, but it seems as though things have changed.
とにかく俺はおじさんではない。今度から俺のことは兄貴と呼べ。いいな。
でもおかりおじさんは苗のお兄さんじゃないし。
Right.
お兄さんではなくとも兄貴と呼ぶこともある。世の中とはそういうものだと覚えておくがいい、シスター・ブラウンよ。
で
もう岡部倫太郎がわけわかんないこと言うから苗が困ってるじゃん。
わからないことではない。俺は世の中の厳しさというものについて教育をだな。
それが教育かどうかは知んないけどさ、そんなことばっか言ってると大変な目に遭うかもよ。
Especially with Mr. Braun.
大変な目だと？まさかお前この俺を脅そうというのか？
Oh, way.
だとしたら残念だな。この法王院京馬、生半可な脅しに屈するような男ではな。
こら、岡部。
Oh! Yep, there it goes. Cowers. And I turned around to see who called my name. There stood a man with a stern look on his face.
ミスター・ブラウン、いつからそこに？
The voice actor so good.
ついさっきからだが、なんだ？お前は俺に聞かれちゃ困ることを苗に教えてでもいたのか？
Right.
いえ、そういうわけでは。
Everything's fine, fine. This man, the mere sight of whom would make 10 out of 10 children cry, is the owner of the Ohiyama building and the CRT, and a CRT or a Braun Tube fanatic. This man is Tenoji Yugo, though his ownership of the Braun Tube workshop has earned him the name Mr. Braun.
おい岡部、言っとくが、苗はまだ子供だ。少しでも可愛いとか思ったり、妙な気でも起こしてみろ。ただじゃおかねえからな。
Oh no.
だって誰がそんなことを思うものか。
何？てめえ、うちの苗が可愛くないとでも言うつもりか？
Crap, this is a no-win scenario. Make up your mind.
さあ苗、お菓子買ってきたからな。こんなバカをほっといて中で食べるか。
Aww. Seeing her smile, the owner's face distorts into a mockery of a grin. It was too disturbing to be called a smile. People who spoil their kids like he does are the reason there are so many DQN plebs in the world today. What? An antisocial person lacks common sense. DQN?
そうそう岡部、お前まさかあの変な実験とやらまたやってねえだろうな。
Not for a while.
変なとは失礼な。あれは未来へとつながる崇高な。
やかましい。お前が妙な実験するたびに天井が揺れてブラウン管の上にホコリが落ちてくんだよ。
Did D-mills always do that? I think they did.
いいか、今度また上でどんどんやった日にはどうなるか分かってんだろうな。
Right. Another threat. First from the part-time warrior, and now from Mr. Braun. Is this some sort of workshop policy? Still.
ミスター・ブラウンよ。さっきも言ったが、この俺に脅しは通用しませんよ。暴力ごときで、この法王院京馬、恐れをなすと思っては。
What about the rent?
家賃あげっぞ。
はい、わかりました。二度としません。
No, please don't do that. Please don't do that. He nodded with his satisfaction and proceeded to re-enter the workshop hand in hand with Nai.
まんまと騙されおってからに。
I declare my victory once I confirmed that they were both safely out of earshot.
卑怯だと思わば思え。バイト選手よ、お前も覚えておくがいい。この法王院教魔、目的のためには手段を選ばぬ非常の男。
Excuse me.
ね
Yeah. Suzaha's voice was surprisingly light. Seems as though she took my comments in stride.
え、昨日のあれなんだっけ、円卓会議、ああいうのってまたあるの？
ん？必要とあれば皆の予定など関係なしに開くが、どうしてだ？
別に深い意味はないんだけど、ただ楽しかったなーって思ってさ。
Yeah, it was fun. Suzaha looked so happy that she looked up at the lab window and I could tell that she was speaking from the heart.
そういえばお前、クリスティーナとは仲直りでもしたのか？
仲直り？何それ？私別にマキセ・クリスと喧嘩なんかしてないよ。
Interesting.
そうなのか？
So in this world line, Kurisu doesn't work for Stern in the future?
そりゃ特に仲がいいってわけじゃないけどさ。でも特に悪いってわけでもないし。
Huh.
てかなんで？もしかして仲悪いように見えた？
いや、そういうわけではない。思い過ごしならいいのだ。
変なの？
Yeah.
まあいいや。あんまりここで油売ってると店長に怒られるから。また会議があるときは言ってよ。店長の目を盗んでできるだけ行くようにするからさ。
Sounds good, Suzaha. She waved goodbye before she disappeared into the store. Interesting. Well, better to have the lab members getting along than hating each other. Until yesterday, Suzaha looked at Kurisu with hatred, but I guess that's changed. Though I suppose these things happen when you switch world lines. Fascinating. Alright, so we will stop here. And we will press forward next time. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. Again, we're in the kind of beginning episode, so a lot of it's just set up right now. We're establishing characters and connections, but also, thankfully, letting us clarify a little bit into what's going on in this world at the time. For instance, Suzaha and Ferris. What am I talking about? I'm tired. Suzaha and Kurisu aren't butting heads. Ferris has some kind of interesting side thing going on. Might be part of this phantasm group. That's my kind of guess right now. And we're in a lot of debt, or apparently, so we're inventing lots of new gadgets to try and make money somehow. Again, kind of tying it to some of the timelines we saw in the linear bound phenogram. So, really curious to see how this all will play out. But for now, we will stop for today. So thank you guys so much for being here today. Thanks for joining me on the channel. As always, it's a pleasure having you here. If you would like to leave a comment, please do so. I love reading them and responding to them. I try and respond to every single one. I don't always get them. Sometimes I don't get notified that they're there, or when I check, they don't seem to pop up. But most of the time I do, and I'll try and respond to them personally. I also can easily chat with you in Discord if you follow the link in the description below. You can also find the link down there to the channel Patreon if you want to help support the channel's growth and expansion into the future. Hopefully someday making this a full-time thing where I can do videos every day of the week. But we will have to save all that for the future. But for now, thank you for being here. Your participation is honestly the best thing you could give me. So thank you so much for being here and being a part of the experience of walking through my darling's embrace. Oh, it's gonna be fun. But until the next video, watching me, I'll see you next. I'll see you there.